Walt Disney Home Entertainment will be bringing the Nutcracker and the Four Realms onto home media as their first release for 2019. And while we've come to expect a cracking selection of editions from Disney releases, Nutcracker, one of Disney's flops for 2018, will be given a small and fairly lackluster selection. Regardless, in this video, I'll be going over all the details of all the different versions that you can expect to find across the US and Canada, the UK and Australia, and when you can gather them up in store and on digital platforms. Additionally, I will also detail the list of announced special features and will then deliver my final thoughts on all of the releases and will discover which version or versions I'll be adding to my own personal collection. In doing so, I also hope to help you weigh up which version is best for yourself. I did of course review Nutcracker and the Four Realms when it was first released in cinemas. If you'd like to take a look at my more in-depth thoughts on the movie, as well as a breakdown of the movie's Easter eggs and references to a broader Disney history, feel free to head over there now via the links in the top corner or follow the hyperlinks at the end of the video. On your screen now is the list of topics that I'll be covering in this video. If you're more interested in checking out some over others, then please feel free to skip forward via the time codes I provided down in the comments below. Otherwise, you are of course more than welcome to stick it with me for the long run. Also keep in mind that about 90% of the time things do change between announcement and release, whether that be new editions announced closer to release date like regional exclusives or changes to artwork, special features and specs. I will leave affiliate links down below and on my Amazon store for those who wish to purchase a copy of this movie. First up, let's take a look at the North American and Canadian release of the movie, when Nutcracker and the Four Realms will be released on physical home media and digital on January 19th, 2019, foregoing Disney's recent tradition of releasing movies digitally a couple of weeks earlier. Nutcracker will release in a Blu-ray, DVD and digital multi-screen edition, as well as in a 4K ultra high definition Blu-ray and digital ultimate collector's edition. A single disc DVD only edition will also be available to purchase. All of these covers share the exact same artwork, which is the movie's standard theatrical poster, and while not an enormous fan of the movie itself, I can agree that this artwork is gorgeous. The sole retailer exclusive for the Nutcracker will be a limited edition collectible steelbook released exclusively through Best Buy and will come as a 4K ultra high definition Blu-ray and digital combo pack. Again, really like the artwork on this one. It features a pretty dynamic cover and beautiful interior artwork. If I were a fan of the movie, I'd almost consider picking this one up. Unfortunately for those who collect them, Target have not announced a digipack or storybook edition exclusive. Our friends across the realms in the UK, despite receiving the movie theatrically day and date with the US, will have to wait an additional 2 months to receive the movie on home media, with the release date set for March 11th, 2019 for physical home media and presumably digital too. Disney's offerings for the Nutcracker in the UK are even more slim than those from the US, with only 2 standard editions of the movie finding a release, a standard single disc Blu-ray edition and a single disc DVD edition. For Nutcracker, Disney will not release a 4K edition in the UK, as has become the norm by now. However, they have also decided against releasing a 3D edition as well, which fuels speculation about the fate of Disney movies on 3D home media in the UK going forward. In the UK, the releases of the Nutcracker will feature the same artwork as their US counterparts, though it seems likely that the UK Blu-ray will be released without a slipcover, much like their recent release of Christopher Robin. Despite a paltry selection of standard offerings, the UK will also receive the steelbook edition of the movie, which will be carried exclusively by online retailer Zavvi. Unlike the US's 4K steelbook offering, the UK set will simply come as a single disc Blu-ray only edition. This steelbook uses pretty much the same artwork as the US Best Buy steel. However, it's interesting to note that Disney UK are back to putting faces on their steelbook spines instead of the movie title. I know that this is a sore spot for some collectors, but it looks pretty nice to me. In Australia, the physical home media release is set for March 6th, 2019. As always, however, don't forget you should be able to pick the movie up 2 days earlier on the 4th in store at JB Hi-Fi. The Australian market will get a nice selection of Nutcracker releases, including a single disc Blu-ray edition, a 4K plus Blu-ray combo pack, and a standard single disc DVD. Finalized artwork is yet to be released for Australia, but we can bet that these editions will feature the same artwork as the international ones. It's nice to see Australia once once again receiving a 4K release, even though the UK won't, but disappointing to see no 3D release at all, or even a steelbook offering for Australia. Let's get into some general release specs for the Nutcracker and the Four Realms. The physical 4K edition of the Nutcracker will feature HDR10 colouring, along with a 7.1 DTS HD master audio soundtrack, which will also be featured on the Blu-ray disc. Interesting to note that in Disney's press release there is no mention of a Dolby Atmos track on the 4K disc, as is usual for Disney's ultra high definition releases. With many disappointed by Disney's poor Dolby Atmos presentations of late, it wouldn't surprise me if they've just dropped it altogether for this movie. However, it could still wind up on the final release. A number of foreign language and subtitle tracks will additionally be available, but these may vary depending on your region. So let's take a look at the special features offered for this movie. For a movie which has been given a fairly lackluster home media treatment, Disney actually offers up a decent selection of special features on the Nutcracker release, which can be found on the Blu-ray disc of any edition that contains one. The special features include On Point, a conversation with Misty Copeland. Copeland shares the thrill of portraying one of her favourite characters in a whole new way, and Unwrapping the Nutcracker and the Four Realms. Dive into the production design, sets, costumes and more that help transform a beloved ballet into an adventurous movie. A selection of 5 deleted scenes and 2 music videos. Fall on Me, performed by Andrea Bocelli and Matteo Bocelli, and The Nutcracker Suite, performed by Lang Lang. As has become the usual for Disney of late, there will also, annoyingly for some, be a digital-only exclusive featurette, Unwrapped, the visual effects of the Nutcracker and the Four Realms. View a reel that explores the layers of effects in sequences of the film. Disney doesn't specify the cumulative runtime of these features, but I can't imagine that we're in for much more than a 15 to 20 minute selection here. For a movie of its kind, this is a decent selection, and judging by its poor critical and commercial reception, I wouldn't imagine there'd be too many out there who would need hours of stuff to pour through for this one. I'm certainly not that interested to spend too long watching featurettes for this movie, but will happily spend a little bit of time checking out the behind the scenes offerings. It's just a shame that one of the best offerings here has been relegated to digital only, which many of us won't be able to view. However, there is already a fairly similar video on YouTube, which could quite possibly be the exact same featurette. Okay, let's get on to my picks. This is a pretty straightforward one for me. Considering I didn't really like this movie and the fact that Disney have only put up a smattering of physical offerings, I will only be picking up the Nutcracker and the Four Realms in one edition. Yes, I will be buying this, if only as a Disney completist. I will of course make sure to grab the movie's US 4K Ultimate Collector's Edition, because if I am going to own this movie, I may as well own it in the highest quality possible, especially considering the movie's visual design truly is gorgeous. If Disney plays their hand right with this one, this could easily be a reference quality disc. Had this movie been offered in a 3D edition in the UK or even in Australia, I would have almost certainly picked one of those up too. And at that is all from me for this video. I hope that I've helped make your purchasing decisions all the easier, and you have a good idea of which version or versions of the Nutcracker and the Four Realms you'll be winding up. Fire away in the comments below and let me know what you'll be picking up. If this is your first time viewing one of my videos, you like what you've seen, you'd like to see more like this in the future, then please don't forget to hit that big old subscribe button up on your screen right now, and also hit that like button down below if you're feeling extra generous. Also, don't forget to check out my many social media accounts, and please consider supporting me over on Patreon. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you have a wonderful day.